Do you ever feel overwhelmed by life's noise, distractions, and endless demands? Imagine finding a place of true inner peace, a calm so deep that nothing can shake it. In this video, we'll uncover timeless teachings from Miyamoto Musashi that guide you toward finding peace within yourself. From embracing silence to letting go of perfection, these steps will help you discover a powerful calm that lasts. Step 1. Embrace the power of silence. True peace starts with silence, which lets us connect with our inner selves and hear what's going on below the surface. Musashi believed in the power of silence and being alone. He would often spend hours by himself, which helped him concentrate and become more determined. We can finally hear our own thoughts, understand our feelings, and think about what we did when we are alone. In a world that always wants our attention, choosing to be quiet can be a big step forward. When we turn off the outside noise, like social media, conversations, and other daily distractions, we make a sacred place inside ourselves, where we can find out who we really are. Being quiet helps us be more aware, so we can watch our thoughts and feelings without judging them. We find out what's important to us, what we need to face our fears about, and which goals deserve our attention when we are still. Musashi spent most of his time alone and in thought. He thought that being quiet was important for getting stronger inside and thinking more clearly. However, this quiet isn't just the lack of noise. It's a choice to be calm and concentrate. Musashi used to meditate while sitting down called seiza. This helped him gain a deep knowledge of his mind and spirit, which helped him make clear-headed decisions even when he was in the middle of a battle. Start with small amounts of silence to get used to its power. Take a few minutes every day to be alone with your thoughts. Over time, spend more and more time on this exercise. Think about your life. Pay attention to your thoughts, and pay attention to any worries or fears that come to the surface. Accepting silence doesn't mean ignoring these thoughts. It means letting them be there without judging them. You'll find that these quiet times help you face life with more clarity, strength, and inner calm over time. Musashi's lessons tell us to find silence as a safe place to get to know ourselves and build the strength we need to deal with the challenges of life. Step 2. Let go of the need to be right. The ego's constant need to show itself is one of the biggest things that gets in the way of inner peace. Tension and conflict happen when we feel like we have to be right, protect our ideas, and manage how other people see us. Musashi, who won many duels, knew that the key to real strength is not having to show yourself, but having control over your mind. Letting go of this need is a humble and strong thing to do that lets us live our lives with grace and wisdom. Realizing that our worth isn't tied to always being right is important if we want to let go of the need to be right. We often feel the need to support our point of view because we are afraid that if other people think we are wrong, it will make us less important. Musashi thought that a warrior shouldn't care what other people think. Instead, he thought that a fighter should try to understand himself. You don't need to look for approval from other people when you know who you are. You can handle disagreements and fights with a calm and open mind if you let go of the need to be right. You should try to listen and understand instead of arguing. Do not feel scared when you ask someone a question or listen to what they have to say. Musashi taught that a smart fighter doesn't waste energy on fights that aren't necessary. Instead, he saves his strength for important times. We can use what we've learned in our daily lives by not getting into pointless fights and trying to find harmony instead of being right. We can find inner peace by being humble and letting go of the need to win every argument. We set ourselves free from the need to constantly prove our worth. We can live our lives more freely and peacefully because of this freedom. We can accept other people's views while staying true to our own. Musashi's life shows us that real strength is quiet and doesn't brag. It is confident in itself and doesn't need other people's praise. Step 3. Practice radical acceptance. Being able to accept things as they are without fighting them or wishing they were different is what radical acceptance means. Musashi's theory says that to become master, you have to accept reality as it is, even if it makes you feel bad. Accepting what we can't change doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what we can't change and finding peace in that. When we practice radical acceptance, we stop wasting time and energy on useless struggle and start to live in harmony with the way things are. Radical acceptance is important for inner peace because it lets us stop caring about how things turn out. There are times when things don't go as planned in life, no matter how well we plan. Musashi says that a fighter should always be ready for the unexpected and be able to change and stay calm. We build resilience and the strength to move on without anger or rage when we accept what we can't change. Start practicing radical acceptance by paying attention to things that make you feel stressed or let down. Don't think about how things should be. Instead, accept them as they are. For instance, if you have a failure at work, don't dwell on the chance you missed. Instead, accept it and think about what you can learn from it. Musashi thought that hardships teach us, and that when we accept them, we become wiser and stronger. This practice doesn't mean being passive. It means putting your energy into things you can change instead of fighting what will happen anyway. Radical acceptance lets us give up the false sense of control and accept life as it is, with all of its unknowns. This way of thinking helps us feel calm because it lets us know that we can't control everything, but we can choose how to react. Step 4. Find fulfillment in purpose, not perfection. Perfection is a myth that makes people feel stressed and unhappy when they don't need to be. Musashi's teachings stress the value of having a goal, not being perfect. As a warrior, he worked hard to be the best and was disciplined, but he knew that perfection wasn't possible or required. He wasn't focused on getting everything just right. Instead, he was focused on completing his mission and always getting better. When we find happiness in our purpose instead of in being perfect, we don't have to keep comparing ourselves to others or trying to meet impossible standards. Perfectionism often makes us put things off and be afraid of failing, which stops us from making real progress. Musashi thought that the trip was more important than the end goal, and that working toward a good goal makes you happy. Find what really matters to you, and make a sincere commitment to it if you want to find meaning in your life. Focus on the value of the work instead of how perfect it looks, whether it's a personal job, a career goal, or a skill you want to improve. Musashi's teachings tell us that purpose isn't about reaching an outside goal, but about making a difference and growing as people. When your deeds are in line with your purpose, you'll feel happy in a way that perfection could never give you. Purpose, on the other hand, lasts and gives us direction and meaning. If you adopt this way of thinking, you'll feel very peaceful inside because you'll know that you are living honestly and following your true calling. Step 5. Declutter your mind and environment. The places we live and think have a big effect on how peaceful we feel. Musashi kept his life simple by only taking what he needed and giving up things that were unnecessary. He knew that a crowded space can make your mind cluttered as well. We need to clear out our ideas and our surroundings in order to find inner peace. Start by getting your room in order. Get rid of things that aren't useful to you anymore. A clean and organized space helps you feel clear and calm, which lowers your stress levels. Similarly, clean up your digital areas by limiting the time you spend in front of a screen, organizing your files, and unsubscribing from notifications that bother you. It's just as important to clear your mind. Try letting go of things that aren't helpful that keep coming back to you. Musashi felt that the mind should be trained so that it only thinks about things that are useful. Writing in a journal can help you let go of feelings and fears that you have been holding in. Getting rid of clutter in your thoughts and surroundings makes room for peace and quiet. Musashi's simple way of life reminds us that getting more doesn't bring peace. Freedom comes from getting rid of things that aren't important. By keeping things simple, we can get to know ourselves better and feel calm without having to depend on outside factors. Step 6. Reconnect with nature's rhythm. Musashi loved nature very much and would often go to the woods to train and think. He understood that the cycles in nature are like the cycles in our own lives. We can connect with nature's steady, peaceful energy and understand our place in the world better when we spend time in it. Many times, our busy lives make us lose touch with nature, which can make us feel alone and restless. Getting back in touch with nature makes us feel at peace. Being in nature helps us slow down, breathe, and connect with something bigger than ourselves. It doesn't matter if we're walking in the park, sitting by the ocean, or just watching the sunrise. Nature teaches us to be patient and strong. Trees grow slowly, rivers cut their paths over many years, and the seasons change slowly. Musashi thought that these traits could teach a fighter a lot. Nature helps us learn to trust the process of growth, accept our own rhythms, and be patient with ourselves. Nature walks can help you meditate because they make you feel calm, which calms your mind and heart. Musashi taught us to find comfort in the simple things in nature. This helps us develop a peace that stays with us even when we go back to our normal lives. Step 7. Develop an attitude of forgiveness. Forgiving someone is a strong way to find peace within yourself. Keeping grudges and resentments inside us only makes our hearts sick and takes away the peace we want. Musashi's theory says that the only way to be truly strong is to let go and break free from anger and bitterness. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you agree with their bad behavior. It just means you let go of your anger. We get back the energy that anger took away and put it toward healing and growth when we forgive. Musashi thought that a fighter shouldn't have to carry extra weight. Letting go of hurts from the past frees us to fully live in the present. To learn to forgive, you should first think about any grudges you may still be hanging on to. Ask yourself if these grudges are helping you in any way or just making you feel bad. The teachings of Musashi tell us that a warrior is focused, disciplined, and doesn't have any emotional baggage. You shouldn't forgive as a sign of weakness, but as a sign of strength. When you forgive someone, you give yourself a gift. It's a way to find peace and let go of the pain of the past. When you forgive, you make room in your heart for love and kindness, which turns anger into understanding. By letting go of anger, Musashi taught us, we can find deep inner peace that comes from having a strong heart that isn't carrying any weight. To find peace within yourself, you have to learn about yourself and be disciplined. These lessons from Musashi have been around for a long time and have taught us that the way to true peace is not to avoid problems, but to face them head-on with courage and understanding. By working on these 7 habits, we can build a life with meaning, strength, and unity. Musashi's words should help you find your own way to inner peace. This road doesn't start in the outside world, but in your own heart and mind.